All right, let's move on to our 5 headlines. We're going to go through these headlines here. Remember, there's so much going on in the news. If you want to keep up with all of it, make sure to get a reader's pass at dailywire.com. Go to dailywire.com/subscribe today, and that will give you access to all of our exclusive content, minus the mainstream media, leftist spin. Get exclusive op-eds from your podcast hosts, as well as guest writers, in-depth analysis from Daily Wire reporters, on top of all the regular breaking news as well. The membership tier is $3 a month, but you can get your first month for 99 cents. So go to dailywire.com/subscribe and join today. Okay, where are we? Number 1, a hologram effigy of George Floyd will be touring the southern states to be projected onto Confederate monuments in Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, other places. Floyd's family members are behind this project, and they unveiled it at a ceremony in Richmond. I think it was yesterday. And it was projected over a Jefferson Davis memorial. The Daily News describes the hologram this way. It says the hologram starts out with fireflies that coalesce into a 3D image of Floyd with his name depicted in graffiti on either side to reflect the murals that have sprung up worldwide. Now, okay, I want you to imagine how traumatizing this must be, legitimately traumatizing, for George Floyd's victims. And yes, he did have victims. Just how would you feel? Think about how you would feel. Put yourself in the shoes of his victims. Think about the woman who was robbed at gunpoint by Floyd after he forced his way into her house, held a gun to her stomach in front of her child. How would she feel? How would you feel if that happened to you? Seeing the giant face of your attacker glowing and projected onto a memorial like he's some kind of heavenly vision. This, as I've been saying for a while now, you know, we have gone, of course, way, way, way beyond just expressing outrage over an unjust death. This is way into the realm of canonizing, sanctifying, hero worship of a man who was, to put it really mildly, not a hero at all. But this is what we're doing. Let's go to number 2. Here's a fun story. Reading from the New York Post, it says a suspected arsonist faces up to 20 years in jail for trying to torch Portland's Justice Center. And I hope he actually does all 20 years, but I think we know that's not going to happen. He was easily identified thanks to a tattoo of his name on his back, according to prosecutors. Edward Shinzing, 32, is one of 30 who broke into the area that houses the city's police headquarters under the cover of protests in late May. The mob attack led to the area later being secured with heavy gates. After smashing windows, the mob spray-painted offices, broke computers, and then started a series of fires in a jail records office, forcing staff to flee for safety. Shinzing was, according to the police department, identified by a comparison with a jail booking photo and a distinctive tattoo of his last name across his back. A booking photograph shows his surname in large letters across his back, seemingly matching those of a topless intruder caught in security camera footage from the attack. Yeah, and unfortunately for him, his last name is Shinzing. Like, at least if it was Smith or Johnson or something like that, he could maybe claim that the guy in the footage is someone else, someone with his last name who looks just like him and also has the same tattoo. It's not a very plausible denial, but at least it's possible. It's more possible than claiming that there's more than one Shinzing in the area, up to mischief. I'll never understand. Of all the dumb tattoos people get, I will never understand getting a tattoo of your own name. This is a somewhat common thing, and I just don't get it. It's pretty lazy, for one thing. It seems as though you went to the tattoo parlor, sat down, had no idea what you wanted, and then came up with this on the spot. It's like the tattoo artist, oh, so what do you want? I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it. I mean, my name? Oh, let's just go with that. But of course, that's not how tattoos work. You know, maybe it works that way in like prison, I don't know. But in the free world, it's a slower and more considered process. and yet you settle on your own name. And then you go and commit crimes with your shirt off, exposing your name. Antifa. Antifa, they are not sending their best. They really aren't. Or maybe this is their best, which is a scary thought. Number 3, the actress, I think she's an actress, Tiffany Haddish, appeared on Carmelo Anthony's show yesterday. Carmelo Anthony, of course, the basketball player, apparently has his own show. Everybody does these days. They even gave one to me. I mean, it's pretty easy to get one. And during the discussion at one point, she explained why she doesn't want to bring kids into this world. And speaking of being paranoid, listen to this.
I'm not a fearful person, right? But like, I have watched many of my friends, not many, but I've more than 2 of my friends growing up be killed by police officers, you know, and it makes you feel like, dang, you know, as a Black person, we were being hunted. And like, I felt like, and I've always felt like that, we're hunted and we're slaughtered. And it's like they get this license to kill us, and that's not okay. And you know, now I'm older now, I'm a little older, and people always like, you're gonna have baby when you're gonna have some babies, when you're gonna drop some babies, and there's a part of me that would like to do that, and I always make up these excuses like, oh, I need $1 million in the bank before I can touch you, or I need this, I need that. But really, it's like, I would hate to give birth to someone that looks like me, and then knowing that they're going to be hunted or killed. You know, like, why would I put someone through that?
Look, I know it doesn't matter at this point. Nobody cares. We're way past the point when things like facts make a difference to anyone. But for the record, this police are hunting people down thing is completely and totally untrue. Not even a little true. There is literally zero truth to it. It never happens. So when someone says police are hunting and killing Black people, it's not just that they're exaggerating, it's that they're inventing something that never happens. Certainly not in recent history. Unless, I mean, prove me wrong. Give me an example. Give me an example, if you have one, of police going out and hunting and killing a Black person. Now, there are cases of police killing people, obviously. In the vast majority of those cases, the people who are killed were in the process of trying to kill officers. That's true, as we have gone over, even of the unarmed killings. In most of those cases, the person was trying to kill officers, either by using a weapon that doesn't count as a weapon in the official reports, like a vehicle, or by trying to disarm them and take their weapon and use it against them, that sort of thing. And in the very, 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 very small minority of actual unjust killings, none of them that I've ever heard of could be honestly described as police hunting and killing someone. You want to say that George Floyd killing was unjust? Fine. If you say that the man was hunted and killed, then you're just a dishonest, ridiculous hack. And I think you know that. Number 4, the Daily Beast has a report now about the insane backlash a music review for the site Pitchfork faced. The reviewer named is Jillian Mapes. And Mapes wrote a positive but mildly critical review of Taylor Swift's new album, Folklore, I think it's called. And because it wasn't positive enough, Swift's fans harassed her, actually doxed her, according to the Daily Beast, posted her address and her phone number, doxed her because she didn't like Taylor Swift's album enough. She liked it, but didn't like it enough. You know, she gave it whatever, a B- or something, whatever her grade was, and it wasn't an A+. You know, it's not good enough. This is why, of all the lost souls, of all the deranged groups of people in America, and there are many of them, none are more lost or more deranged than people who find their identity in their fandom. You know, whether they're fans of a pop star or a movie like Star Wars or a TV show or video games, whatever it is, there's nothing wrong with being a fan, okay? I'm a fan, believe it or not. There are things and people that I like, if you can believe it. Not many, but there are some. What I'm talking about is finding your identity in your fandom. If that's like the most important thing to you in your life. For that to be basically the number one thing about you, the most prominent component of your life is that you're a fan of this thing or this person. If you fall into that category, then you are, no offense, the most pathetic sort of person that it's possible to be. The phrase "get a life" was invented for you specifically. And here's how to know that you're in that group. Okay, maybe you're not sure if you're that far into it. Here's how to know you're in that group, or you're headed in that direction. You're nearly in that group. If you get angry, actually truly angry, when someone doesn't like a form of entertainment that you like, you know, if you are incapable of having a discussion with someone who is critical of your favorite thing or who doesn't like it as much as you, if you cannot engage with any critical discussion of this thing or person that you like, because you become blind with fury and start to feel real hatred towards that person, that's a good sign that you are way, way too invested in this thing, whatever it is. And yes, that goes for sports teams too. I will throw that in. I'm not going to leave that out. And I say that as someone who sometimes teeters close to the edge of being a pathetic loser in this regard. I admit that. I do take my fandom of the Baltimore Ravens quite seriously, too seriously, in fact. And so, yes, I am kind of a pathetic loser there. But the saving grace is that it only lasts for 4 months out of the year. So for 4 months of the year, I'm a pathetic dork when it comes to my football fandom. But then I revert back to being normal again for the rest of it. So it's only a third of the year, okay, for me, being pathetic. It's not too bad. It's not great, but it's not as bad as it could be. But even as seriously as I take sports, I still don't take it as seriously as some people do. I've seen a not unfamiliar sight. People get into fist fights. I mean, many of us have seen this. If you're at a stadium or a sports bar. I was at a sports bar a little while ago, and two dudes in different team jerseys got into a fight. Now, granted, there was alcohol involved, okay, but even so. I've never been tempted to punch someone because they liked a different team than me. Think about what that is, okay? You're trying to cause physical harm to someone because they like to watch a different group of men play a game. Oh yeah? This group of men are better at playing the game than your favorite group. No, they're not. No, this group is even better. You bastard, I'll kill you. I mean, it's not stable, is all I'm saying. It really doesn't. Stop and think about what you're doing every once in a while. Okay, number 5, this is good too. Report from the New York Post says, let me read a little bit. It says, there's some real monkey business at a British safari park where a roving gang of baboons armed with knives and even a chainsaw have been wreaking havoc and sowing fear, according to a report. The prowling primates are known to have vandalized vehicles, ripping off windshield wipers and mirrors from them at the Knowsley Safari Park. But the baboons, now I'm just reading through here. Oh, this is disappointing. I should have read this before. Now park officials are saying that it's a myth. The park told the news outlet, "We believe many of these stories have grown in exaggeration as they've been retold with embellishment to make the objects that are sometimes found in the enclosure seem more exciting and unbelievable." Oh, that's disappointing. This is what I get for just going with the headline. Usually I try to do better than that. Usually I try to, I try not to be one of those people that just sees a headline and I'm off to the races. But when the headline is chainsaw wielding baboons, I'm going with the headline. Okay, and this is exactly why. Then you read the details and it's depressing because it turns out maybe that's not actually the case. I like the idea though, okay? This is what I want to say. This is good because I think we can all agree, right, that it's probably time to wrap up this whole humanity deal. Like I think we've all all seen enough. We've really run our course and milked it for what it's worth, and it's probably time to just get on with it, get on with the apocalypse one way or another. So it's just a matter now of choosing the best apocalypse. Okay, how do we want to finally self-destruct? And a Planet of the Apes type of thing could be a lot of fun. Now, if I had my pick of the litter, I would still go with the alien invasion. But if that's not going to happen, if my dreams are dashed, then I think, yeah, arm the baboons, maybe do a little genetic manipulation type of thing like they do in the movies, and just let them go to work. Not a bad way for the human species to go out, I think, you have to admit. So those are our 5 headlines. Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Wire, one of the fastest growing conservative outlets in the entire country. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and then subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of our content.